Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. I just finished my workout today. I just went for a jog, and yes, I'm here with my shirt off, dripping with sweat. I just want you guys to sense the reality of the situation. I live in South China, Guangdong province, and it's after 6 p.m. and it's about 100 degrees. The feels like it's 102 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity 50%. I just checked the stats on the weather app on my phone. I don't recommend for anyone who's out of shape to work out in such weather. It will probably incapacitate you, if not, seriously harm your body. But I'm used to it. I have exercised almost every day of the year for the past 5-7 years or more, and all of it in Guangdong province where I live. I'm used to the hot weather, and I know it's risky, so I carefully condition myself for it. I'm close to home, I stay well hydrated, I look after my nutrition, and I gradually build myself up to this level of heat every year. I'm exercising most every day of the year. In today's jog, by the way, I exercise. This is my light exercise day. Yesterday I did 2.5 hours in 100-degree weather, starting at like 5 p.m. or something like that. I'm starting later because it's just so dang hot, but it's still hot even when I start later. I did about 2 hours of bicep and tricep workouts, and then I did the 40-minute jog after that. Today was my light day. I almost didn't want to come out, but I just said, just do the jog. The jog is the lowest hanging fruit. So I did that, and I'm proud that I got it done. But in today's video, I want to share with you my reflections about, what I was thinking about during the jog. And what I was thinking about was this. I wonder what my 40s will bring. I wonder what I should focus on in my 40s. I recently turned 39, and I had the feeling during my jog today that I am proud of everything that I went through and everything that I accomplished in my 30s. And that led me to wonder, what will my 40s be like? And can my 40s be greater in some way? If my 30s made me a man of steel, which I feel they did, I wonder what the 40s will bring. Will the 40s temper that steel? Will the 30s sharpen that steel? What's it gonna be? And I want to rattle off a few things in this video today that I've been through. And it's not because I want you guys to think I'm so cool. It's not to brag. Honestly, it's to inspire you and to make you start to think about what the next season of your life will bring to you. And I want to encourage you not only to think in the short term and in terms of manageable chunks, manageable goals, that's important, but I also want you to think long range, 5-10 years. What's this next chapter of life going to be for you? For me, I think it's important to sort of set the stage of my story by letting you know that I've lived in China since 2011. I moved from America to China in 2011. I've been living in China since 2011. I went home every year for a visit until 2019. In 2019, when I came back to China after visiting, COVID-19 broke out. So this was the beginning of my 30s. So it was really hard to travel at that time. And I also decided to start my family at that time with my wife. So in my 30s, I was on lockdown a lot. I haven't been back home to America since 2019. So I've been in China since 2019. What is that? Is that like 7 years now or so? But during my 30s, I've been mainly in China. Several years were during COVID-19, which was crazy. 6 of the years, I was a manager of about 30 or 35 people, which had its challenges. I was pretty much on call to solve problems and to mentor and to hold meetings and to sort of lead the way. I've since stepped down from that role. I want to focus more on my health and my family. But for 6 years, that was a great challenge for me, and it taught me a lot. I had 2 children during those years. again, during COVID-19, during the time that I was being a manager, I was also exercising almost every day of the week. I've got the records to prove it. You know, I've been through the challenge and the stress of having poor sleep. I had 2 little kids, and as any parents know, that really wrecks your sleep. Now my daughter, my oldest child, is 5. My boy is still young. He's like 2.5. So from the time I had kids till now, I've really not had the best sleep. No matter how hard I try, there's always something that tends to break it. And I've had to get used to that. I've had to learn how to bring my best positivity and energy every day regardless, and get the results regardless. I'm really proud of that. A lot of fathers know this, and they should be proud of this. I learned how to start every day positively for my family. I wasn't always the most positive person in the morning. I learned to work through it first for myself, and then, more importantly, for my kids, because my daughter started school during this time, and she didn't always want to go to school in the mornings. So both my wife and I had to learn how to show our best positivity and sort of pass that to her in the morning so that she could get her day started right. So for me, learning to wake up and get moving positively, having had poor sleep, and just to share my best self and my best positivity to people throughout the day was probably one of the best skills that I've built in myself. Maintaining the relationship with my wife has been an important win. I've not always been the best with that. I've definitely made mistakes. I've definitely been the source or the cause of arguments and problems because I'm not perfect. But I learned, and similarly with work and with my kids, I've learned to calm down, take a deep breath, try to say the right thing, and just let things get back to normal and just try to be better rather than add fuel to the fire. That's been super important to maintain my relationships with my wife, my kids, and my neighbors, my community. During all of this time, I also pursued my personal goals, my passion projects, languagecardgames.com. You've seen me posting videos here regularly and also building my games, building the website, selling games, printable, virtual, real decks, hand packing those, shipping them all over the world. I've shipped to over 25 countries. So this, and I started doing that when I was around 27, 28. So all of these things were going on, learning. I kept reading, reflecting, writing in notebooks, tracking my habits, trying to absorb new learnings from people that I admire, from podcasts, from books, having great conversations with friends, calling home just about every Sunday night. I've done that since I came to China in 2011 to maintain my relationship with my family members back home. So again, I just rattled through a great long list, but my goal, I am proud, and I do want to share with you my pride. I think good friends, people who are close, should be willing to share what they're proud of to each other and congratulate each other. So I want to do that for you and to you. If you have things you're proud of, you can share it in the comment section down below, and I will happily connect with you over that and try to build that with you and urge you on to your next level. Now, I rattle off all those things because that's what I've been through in my 30s. It's what has meant so much to me. And I think one of my greatest fears is that somehow I will do less or be less during the next 10 years. I have to have the right kind of challenge, and I have to push myself, because one thing is true, I think that happens very commonly to people, is the older that we get, the less there are people around us who really push us, because they see us more and more as mature adults who can handle their own shit, right? So for me, during my 30s, and I assume going forward, it's going to be really important for me to find out how to push myself in the right way and stay on myself, to always be looking for ways to optimize and become better. I think for me, generally speaking, the sort of general conclusion I reached today during my jog was that I want to become even tougher in many ways, even though I already feel like I'm very tough, exercising all those years also with pain in my body, pain in my joints, not stopping for that. That's made me not just physically very tough, but more important, mentally very tough. Working out every day, regardless of the weather, regardless of my tiredness level, regardless of pain in the body, that's made me very tough, very disciplined. But somehow I want to become even more tough, even more disciplined. I know that I could wake up earlier. I know that I could wake up on time more consistently. I know that I could push myself in the workouts and make them more intense. I know that I could learn more about nutrition and be more disciplined about my nutrition. On the other hand, I think I need to learn how to become even more kind and gentle, because sometimes I'm so tough and disciplined and I push myself so hard that it's a little bit hard for other people to be around me sometimes. And I can be a bit sort of cold and aloof, maybe not sensing other people's, it's not that I don't sense other people's struggles or their pain or what they're going through, but it's that I know, because of all that I've been through, that they can overcome it, and they actually need that to become stronger. So I don't tend to overreact, or when people are facing difficulties. I know it'll be good for them, and I want to coach them through it. I don't want to sort of placate their weaknesses or appease their weaknesses, you see. But at the same time, what I'm trying to say is I also need to learn how to become more kind, more loving, sometimes slow down, relax more with the closest people in my life, the people I really care about. Because sometimes I'm so driven that I become a little bit impersonal sometimes, and I sometimes disregard the profundity of the moment, especially with other people. So I want to become more graceful, more elegant. Hope this video helps. I'll see you back here in the next one. Bye bye for now.